We have the final of the Continental Classic, the C2, as the ace of AEW, Jon Moxley takes on a longtime friend and bitter rival, Eddie Kingston, the Mad King. New York's finest, returns home to his home state of Long Island to look to become the first ever AEW Triple Crown champion and retain his Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong Openweight Championships, as well as become the first ever, as I mentioned, AEW Triple Crown winner. I gotta give Tony Khan his credit. We have to praise Tony Khan when he does things right, everybody. I know he takes a lot of slack. I know he's not perfect. But the Continental Classic this year, this concept, the way that it just went about, the presentation, the overall just feel of the matches, and the overall storylines of how they came together and it all intertwined like a nice web. Spider Verse mentioned there, but Tony Khan deserves this now because the Continental Classic was everything we needed in North America for a tournament. The round robin style created drama, suspense, intrigue, some upsets, some areas of unpredictability even as the tournament went on. We saw some breakout performances. We seen real, legit, rich story for each and every competitor. From a Jay Lethal trying to get back to his winning ways, a Mark Briscoe trying to adjust to being a singles competitor from a tag team competitor, Roosh showing what he's made of for his stable, Jon Moxley showing he's the ace of AEW, Bryan Danielson pretty much competing in his G1 during his last ride. Kingston trying to keep all of his titles. Swerve trying to prove it's his house. He deserves to be in the main event spot. Brody King wants to show he's the biggest, baddest MFer in AEW. Andrade wanting to show that he is world class competitor and why he needs to be pushed. Daniel Garcia, is he a sports entertainer or professional wrestler? Is the dancing gimmick going to go? So many stories, so many different ways they can go with a lot of these competitors heading into 2024. Jay White trying to redeem himself after losing the AEW World Championship match. So many ways they can go with these stories, and I hope they really follow up and really use these stories to catapult 2024 for AEW as we head into Revolution and some of the bigger shows next year. Eddie Kingston, I had a feeling he was either going to be in the semifinals or finals once he put his titles on the line. And Moxley is TK's guy. He's always there when he needs him. He's always there to support the company. He's a flag bearer for AEW. He's fantastic. I get why they did it here. The long-term story, the long-term booking, which I love, tells itself. Eddie Kingston, he has gone through Claudio in the tournament. He has gone through Danielson in the tournament. He beat Claudio earlier this year to win the Ring of Honor title. He had never beat Bryan Danielson before until last night on Dynamite. He had never beaten and has never beaten Moxley before. And he has a chance to do that on Saturday. And I think he will do that on Saturday, thus completing the story, thus completing the full circle, just beating everybody in the tournament that's in the Blackpool Combat Club, winning in New York, retaining his titles, and being the first ever Continental Classic Triple Crown champion, being that blue collar king of the underdogs, being that king of the bums, taking what Danielson said and really letting that motivate him to really be great. Eddie Kingston is fantastic. He's one of Tony Khan's favorites as well. He's getting his big moment. He is an even bigger star than he was earlier this year. He's having one of the best runs of his career. This Continental Triple Crown Championship will look great on him. I can't wait to see what the belt looks like. He will be able to go to other promotions. He will be able to go all around the world. He will be able to have matches in AEW. He will be able to hopefully tell stories in AEW that we want and need. And Eddie, his whole career has been he can't win a big one. He's beaten guys like Jericho. He's beaten guys like Brooke Danielson. He's going to beat Moxley, I think. And he's going to be the Triple Crown champion. And he is going to win the big one in his hometown. He's done it at Grand Slam, winning the Ring of Honor title. He's going to do it again in Long Island at World's End. I can expect a brawl for all, a bloodbath, a matchup of just stiff shots, crazy spots, and I think these guys are gonna go out there for 20 minutes, give you everything they have. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be felt throughout the building. It's gonna be amazing, I think, and this might actually start the show, honestly, and we'll see how they place the matches and on the match card, but I think Kingston gets his just due. He gets his flowers. Moxley puts him over. Kingston beats Moxley for the first time. He's beating Danielson for the first time, and no better guy I would go to. A relatable, hardworking, blue collar, badass mofo who ain't gonna back down from a challenge. Who's someone we as the fans can relate to. We as the AEW Galaxy can get behind, and he's a great baby face and will be a great face of the Continental Classic first year and official Triple Crown winner. But let me know, guys, how are you feeling about the Triple Crown? How are you feeling about the Continental Classic? I think it was a solid A. I thought it was everything I wanted it to be and more. Can't wait to see how they make it better even the more next year. How they incorporate maybe other talents and maybe tweak the rules a little bit. But AEW has some storylines. The tournament is a story, but within the tournament, there were stories with every competitor in every matchup. As we saw some banger matches on Dynamite and on Collision in both the blue and gold leagues. But sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the Continental Classic. Let me know your thoughts moving forward for it. And how are you feeling with Jon Moxley taking on Eddie Kingston? I know a lot of us want to swerve. I know some people want a Jay White. But this is a perfect way to tell the story. Eddie Kingston winning the big one in New York and doing it against one of his former friends and one of his best friends still, beating Danielson, running through the BCC, and culminating with beating Moxley, someone who's never beat as well. Hit the like button, super kick that subscribe button. We'll be live for World's End this weekend. Can't wait to watch it with you, talk about it. We'll be here on the Flex Zone podcast. Check out all our other previews and predictions. We gone.